All right, so we're working with Daniel here on sewer line inspection. And Daniel, what are you doing right now?
Scoping the sewer to see if there's any offset, any roots or anything like that. And as of right now, I'm 80 feet out.
Okay.
And I find no issues.
Okay, so we're on the east side of the house, and so does this look like it's going all the way under from the east side?
Yeah,
to
it's
the...
going under the house this way. So I'm able to actually camera the trunk line, the main trunk at least, under the house.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go all the way to where the tank is, and then take the locator and locate and mark out where the tank is.
And where do you think that is right now
I
that you're
have no
doing?
idea until I locate it.
Okay. All right, we'll find you back later. Yeah, and you haven't found anything inside. It all looks fine?
Yeah, I flushed all the toilets back here.
Okay.
They've been replaced. They're all one-piece Glacier Bays. They're good toilets.
Okay. And also, you know, he was asking me about plumbing. And he said, you know, he's a little concerned about whether this would all be copper. This was built in the 1990s, so it's all... Okay.
That's all copper.
So it's an entire copper
The whole
house.
house is copper, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, Daniel, tell me, what do we got here? So these are the compressors, and you said that the line is coming back over here?
It's coming over here. It's coming out this way, pointing towards this grass area.
So the area that I'm standing on, outside of the dining room.
Yeah.
Or the kitchen, rather.
And that's that's 100 feet out. And
So,
I went through 2 different cleanouts, and I ended up right here.
So what do you think happened? If we were on the east side over by the master bathroom, how do you think that those pipes snake through the house?
That trunk line probably just runs from the back one.
Okay.
That first clean out, probably straight under the house, comes over here, you know, it picks up everything under the house.
Okay.
And then exits right here. And then that one right there goes back under the house and ties into that same main trunk.
Okay.
There's only one trunk line.
So the one that's behind me, that's over beyond the dining room, that's going through the bathrooms on that side and then hits the main line.
And then continues it the same way back out.
So the main line crosses from the living room into the kitchen, and then it comes across the kitchen to the south side by these compressors.
And then comes out right here, and this is as far as I can get. Not because there's something wrong with the line, that's where 100 foot ends.
Okay, so
But it's pointing towards this grass mound area.
Okay, so this area here is probably the drainage field in the back.
That's what I'm presuming, unless somebody, like I said, has a set of plans or something. But
okay, and you said the pipes look good?
everything in the house is beautiful.
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 Beautiful. We love
And as
beautiful.
far as I could see with the camera, even past, as far as I could push it, the line looks great.
Great.
Even
Okay.
out here, so.
Okay, that's good. And again, it was copper because of the age of the
No,
house.
no.
This would be not
The
the
water's
underneath.
copper.
The water supply is copper.
All the
Underneath is ABS.
Yeah,
So,
which is good.
okay. Thank you. All right, this is Casey.
Hi, good morning.
So, Robert, Casey and I are just gonna talk about what you found. And Richard's here. Say hi, Richard. All right, Casey, so what did you find? And we can go look at the stuff that you found that we need to
Yeah,
find
so
out.
on the roof, what I noted on the roof is, you know, there's a little area above the master bathroom where it looks like they repatched some of the vent pipes that were coming out of the roof. So you can see that they moved away some of the rock, and you can see they patched it with some foam, elastomeric as well.
Now, is the patching because there was probably they were worried about something, or there
That's
was
the only thing I could
penetration?
think, because I don't see any evidence of any moisture stains on the ceiling inside the garage. However, it does look like, I don't know, the house might have been painted recently.
It was painted recently.
So but there's no evidence of any moisture penetration on the inside of the ceiling that I can tell.
So probably preventative is what you're thinking.
Or they added, they might have changed out the exhaust fan or something, put a new cover on it, and that could be why.
Okay.
And then the vent pipe that vents out for your furnaces and your water heater that are in the south closet does not extend at least 24 inches above the roof surface.
Now, you were saying earlier there are 3 that connect into one.
There's 2 furnaces and 1 water heater that connect into 1 vent pipe that vent through the roof and go out to the exterior.
And it's vented sort of close to the roof as opposed to higher.
Yes,
and
that's
so
the thing, is when it's got an 8-inch pipe, it should be at least 24 inches above the roof surface so that the gas fumes can get away without having any backflow coming down the pipe. That's why it shouldn't be so close to the roof surface.
So those are relatively newer. So is it just
extension from the roof side?
Okay, so
on a roof, they can get an extension to the pipe, sheet metal it, extend it at the proper height, put the cap back on, and then usually they paint it so it's not all bright. So,
and that's something an HVAC contractor does?
On the record, it'd be plumber / HVAC. Off the record, it could be roofer / home handyman.
Okay.
And then with a permit, if it was permitted, it wasn't done properly.
Well, because they don't probably go up on the roof when the city won't go up on the roof, and sometimes the newer units are not as tall as the older units, or the coil's not as big as the newer units, and so that brings everything down smaller. you know, lower, and if they don't go up on the roof and extend it, knowing that, you know, there's a code requirement involved in that, that could be usually the case.
Okay, and you had also said that under the solar there was foam because it was probably part of the solar installation.
That's what I imagine, yeah.
Okay.
I imagine that at 2015 when they put on the solar, they, you know, they removed all the tiles so they can get to the actual membrane, to the actual plywood, so that they can attach their posts and stuff for those solar panels. But it looks like they've been, instead of putting that tar and gravel back, they foamed it.
Okay, so in the areas where there's solar, there's sort of foam, but there's not foam, and it's gravel and
Tar and gravel.
tar.
Which means it's just a bunch of rock over rolled composition.
Okay, and as far as you could tell, that looked okay, or
Yeah, it's hard to tell, you know, it's hard to tell the condition of the underlayment underneath it without scraping the rock and actually seeing it. But as you walk on it, you know, the plywood's not cracking, it's not mushy, it's not soft. It's not bare spotted where you could tell water has ran through that area and it's just bare spotted and moved all the rock out of the way. We have none of that going on anywhere.
Okay.
In fact, you have multiple layers of roof, and where the scuppers drain from the upper layer onto a lower level, they actually have like a block or a brick so that the water lands on the brick and not on the rock, so that it doesn't make a bare spot.
And that's what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want that underlayment underneath that rock cover, because it's designed to not be exposed to the elements so that it doesn't deteriorate at a faster rate.
Okay, and then a lot of times on flat roofs, we have situations where there's conduit and whatnot going along.
You know, that's all good.
And that's all good. There's blocks under it. It's all the way it's supposed
Nothing's
to be
laying
done.
on the membrane.
Okay, good.
Is there much up there in terms of conduit?
No, just for the solar panels and a little bit over this patio here, you know, going to the ceiling fan, and they've plumbed in some conduit. There's conduit inside that storage shed right there that goes up to the roof as well. There's an outlet in there with the timer. But yeah, everything's good up on the roof in terms of everything's elevated.
Okay. Don't back up too much. You'll get stuck by that agave behind you.
Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, we can go to the south side and actually look at the water heaters in the first.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, inside the house, I'm a nitpicker on doorstops, so you're going to see that quite a bit within the report. Where if the door opens, you know, within 90 degrees adjacently, I always know when there's no doorstop that's going to stop the doorknob from hitting the adjacent wall and damaging it. Here, this main entry door right here, I just noted that when it shuts, the lock set does not align and latch.
Okay.
You just kind of push it in from outside, so you have to have the deadbolt if you wanted any type of even wind security.
So it needs some adjustment.
Yeah, just alignment right there. Here we talked about that. We got the damaged glass or window here where we have some staining in between the window here. So I'm saying this is the west window on the north wall in the living room.
Okay.
Okay. And we see that this stuff doesn't come out in between the two panes of glass. We got back seal here also. I said it was the east window on the south wall of the living room, and that's where you have those two windows where that glazing strips are also separating up there.
And it's the left one?
Yeah, the east one. That's got the same kind of
Yeah, you can see
situation
the
going on
palm tree sort of discolors. Here, I'll zoom in. There we go. All right.
there. Okay. Also, we've got no smoke detector outside the master bedroom.
Is that what that dark circle
I
is
think that
supposed
might
to
have
be?
been a hardwired smoke detector when the house was built.
Okay.
Or it might have just been a battery, but we got carbon, so we're good there. There's also not a smoke detector in the hallway outside the guest bedrooms either.
Okay.
Let's see here. Exposed wiring on the ceiling above the entry door where there was a fixture that's no longer there.
Okay.
And then one more here in the wet bar. Here's your wet bar sink in the living room here. The water lines coming out of the wall to the faucet do not have any accessible shutoff valves. There's no shutoff valves on these water lines underneath the sink. So
Is that because they're probably coming from the
it
powder
might-
room
yeah,
on the other side?
Whatever, they should have, you know, it needs to be plumbed onto this side to where they can shut it off
Okay.
and go into there. I'm not sure. I think that's probably where they took it from.
Yeah.
It's just you want those shutoff valves accessible.
Okay.
Okay, and then, okay, master bedroom.
All right, master bedroom.
Okay, here we are in the master bedroom. The west window on the north wall has that bad seal,
Okay.
as well as the north window on the east wall has this bad seal. So this little staining right here doesn't go away. It's in between the two panes of glass.
Okay.
Let's go just jump to the master bathroom here. Okay, master bathroom.
Okay.
Master bathroom. I just noted that we got 3 cracked tiles on the tub surround. You know, it's kind of minor, but I just want you to know I saw I got cracked tile over there. We have 7 cracked tiles on the shower pan in the
Okay.
master bathroom.
Alrighty.
Actually, more than that, because I see them right here. So we're about more than that, multiple.
Okay.
And then the toilet is not secure at the floor.
So it moves a little bit.
Yeah, so the way I check the toilet is come in here, see if it moves.
Oh man.
And it moves. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we got the entry door to the bathroom and the entry door to the toilet room that don't have door stops.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's super bright. Okay. So
Okay,
we're,
so here we are in the south closet where you got your furnaces and one of your water heaters. So you have 2 water heaters on the property. One in the south closet, which we are right now, and one on the east closet. There's another water heater.
okay.
Okay. Here, the water heaters are 2019. Okay, it's newer than 2011. It should have a sediment trap installed on the gas pipe prior to entering the appliance. Okay, they did not install that. You have newer furnaces, 2015 models, where they did install the sediment trap on. So this is exactly what needs to happen on both your water heaters. They need to have the sediment trap installed on the gas line prior to entering the appliance.
Okay. So that little thing
That
there
little
that you're
nipple
looking
right
at
there
is
what's
supposed to
required
be.
right here. That little setup
Okay.
right before it goes into the water heater.
Okay.
You have 2 water heaters. Again, the second water heater also is the same way. It's a 2018 model. So you have a 2018 model, a 2019 model water heaters, 2015 2 5-ton systems for your house.
Okay.
Okay, so you're really good, you know, good money, newer components for all those major money items.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about here, missing sediment trap. Also, water heater technically should have this black foam insulation wrapped around both pipes. Okay, also it's on a drywall platform. They should have put a drain catch pan underneath this as well.
Okay.
And
So
that's
is
what's
that-
going on both water heaters?
So if that does not have the catch pan, then the issue is, if it's an issue, is that should this leak, the water is going to collect on that wood, and so it'll.
What's going to collect on this drywall, get mushy. The unit itself can potentially fall through the base, and this wall is an adjacent wall to the main house. So if there's any moisture in here, it's going to seep into the adjacent wall,
Okay.
into the main house. That's why they put a catch pan that has a drain pipe coming off of the catch pan, so that the catch pan has moisture, then the drain pipe will divert it out of the enclosure onto the ground. And when you see moisture dripping outside the enclosure, then you know you got something going on inside here.
Okay, and that should have been. That was all
That's
to
what I mean,
code at the
that's not-
time when
yeah.
that was put in. So it's.
So that's a new code or it's not?
No, it's always been code. It's just never really been enforced out here in the desert, you know, because I think they think dry climate, we don't need nothing. But, you know, by the letter of the code, it should be installed on any furred space. This is called a furred space because it's a built up space. It's
Okay.
framed in, it's built up, it's
And we
elevated.
do see it a lot here, I do have to say. But
Yeah.
that's a drywall surface?
Yeah,
There's
it's
not
drywall.
plywood underneath
That's
it?
drywall. Well, it's wood underneath that, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking, how's that holding it up if it's just drywall?
No, it's drywall. No, it's drywall, but that's the first line of defense. That's going to be the first moisture absorption. Or you can do what they did here, you know, put sheet metal over it, under it. This is like what they did here with the furnaces. You know,
Okay.
those are the 2 acceptable methods. You either have a catch pan or you have a sheet metal moisture bearing surface that's not going to allow moisture to seep through.
I see. Okay.
Okay?
All right, where are we off to next?
We go over to the east side of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah. Are we doing it? Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, these are your AC condensers right here. Again, 2015, both of them are 5-ton systems, so you have 10 tons of air conditioning for 3,600, 3,700 square feet. So you're calculated out. I mean, you have air conditioning for almost 5,000 square feet of house. 2015, same thing with the furnaces, so they replaced everything simultaneously at the same time. I have it zoned out in the report what unit is controlled by what thermostat and what part of the house that conditions. That's all in the AC heater section of the report.
Okay.
It doesn't have to go down all the way, just shovel it away from it. You know, even
Like
if it's
just a
shoveled
few
away.
inches?
Just about, 6 inches away and have a 2-inch clearance underneath the weed screed. You just don't want that moisture to be ponding where, it's got nowhere to go. It could go up and the other stuff got nowhere to go down.
Okay.
Okay?
These are overflow drains that are.
Those are just scuppers off of the flat roof. There is no gutters. That is the way the water drains, is off of those scuppers. And on the multi-layers, they have multiple scuppers that go down to the lower level below that as well. Okay?
All right, so north side of the house.
Okay, north side of the house here. Again, this would be noted from inside the master bedroom, but if we look at the 2 windows here, we have one window that has some moisture staining inside the 2 panes of glass. We have a breach seal, and I think we have about 3 or 4 of those windows throughout the house.
Okay.
Okay? So...
And you'll have pictures with arrows noting
yeah,
each one?
identifying which one it is.
Okay.
I think we have 2 in the master here as well. Let's see. I wanted to show the 2 windows outside the living room.
Okay.
You guys gonna do inside too?
We're going to do inside as well.
You are? Okay.
And then I'll have this so you can watch the whole thing.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, just talking about you sent my email.
So I said 2 windows on the north side of the house or in the living room. Okay, the glass pane is loose inside the frame, so you can feel a little bit of wiggling. The glass pane is loose inside the frame on these 2 windows.
Okay. Okay.
And then
How would you fix that?
well, I think a window guy can pop out the glazing strip on this side and adhere that. He might say it's a bad window though, because it's a dual pane window. So if we got a loose pane, you know, the argon gas between the 2 panes of glass has probably escaped by now.
Yeah.
I would let a window guy determine the fix on that. I don't want to speak out of tune and, you know, say you could just put some adhesive there and it's good to go or whatever, but we don't have any moisture stains between these 2, but we do have some rocking, okay? Let's see here. The gate on the north side of the driveway. So the gate that goes from the driveway into the yard doesn't have a self-closing device on it. When you have a pool in there, you can't have that gate just be open to the street where someone could walk in, invite themselves into your pool and drown.
Right. Okay.
So it's missing a self-closing device on that. We can go to the pool equipment. We're by the pool equipment here. So what I noted here is that we have a bonding wire here. So we got a wire here. We got a copper wire that grounds the pump and grounds the heater. However, the wire itself is not connected to a ground rod into the earth. This wire should be connected to another wire that goes to a rod that's hammered into the earth that grounds these components.
And there's excess dirt there, so it could just
yeah,
be
it's probably
hammered in.
somewhere in here, you know. I'm sure it was here at some point because they've done this part of it, but nonetheless, I don't see any actual connection to the grounding device. Also, this is where your salt dispensing control pad is right here. This is a control system for the electronic salt dispensing or chlorine, whatever they have here. And when it's running, the check salt inspect cell lights are illuminated.
Okay, and that could just...
So sometimes it could be something as simple as they did put new salt in it or anything, and they just didn't unplug that cell and plug it back in and reset it. It could be something that simple, or the cell itself. They usually only have like a 2 or 3 year life expectancy, and it could have gone out.
Okay.
But again, that'd be more pool guy. Here, this switch right here turns on your water feature that's in the yard over there.
Okay.
I took the liberty of writing water feature with a Sharpie on here for you. Heater works. Everything's manual though, so if you wanted to come over here and turn on your spa, you got to turn these handles 180 degrees to make your spa jets work. Everything's manual. You got to come over here, turn on the water, or I mean the heater manually. Nothing's automated.
Very high tech.
Good.
All right, we're beside the garage.
Okay, we're on the north side of the garage. Is your exterior shower. So when you turn on the shower, you got a lot of heavy vibration from the shower head. Okay? It's because of the way they plumbed it in. So when you the hose bib right below it, they've tapped into the water line to the hose bib. So there's no water flow from the hose bib unless the shower's on. Okay, so that's what I noted there. So, and because they plumbed it in this way, that's probably why we got a lot of knocking, is because we're limiting our pressure flow going up to it, and that's why it's vibrating and knocking. But nonetheless, that's what I'm just a pointer outer guy.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll walk our way in and go through. So now we're in the garage. So a couple things I noted in here. One being is this. This is your firewall. So this wall is what separates the garage from the interior living areas. And we got a little patched area here where there might have been a doggy door or some type of access at this point, but we have a wood patch. Okay, we can't have anything that's flammable being on our firewall. So it should be.
Isn't the drywall flammable?
Technically, no. It's treated for a couple hours. But
I think that's a very mushy topic, but okay.
Yeah. We should be having the wall look like this if we're going to have this here. Or if you're going to continue having it, it should be metal. It should be a metal access cover and not a wood access cover.
Okay, good to know.
And then I noted that there's a GFCI outlet on the south wall here. Okay, we got a GFI outlet right here on the south wall that is dead. It doesn't reset, it doesn't trip. It's a dead out, so maybe a bad outlet. May need a new outlet in there.
Okay.
We got nothing going on there. The garage door to the single car garage door. I said it's got bent lower panels here where you can see they're starting to bulge and separate here. These lower panels. Okay, so I just said that we got some bent lower panel on the single car garage door.
Is that from somebody backing into it, or?
Could be. It looks a little bent on the inside.
Okay. So, I mean, it works. It
Yeah.
functions?
Oh yeah, it's functional. Works. Yeah. It just, you know, just want to know I saw something like that for him. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, looks like maybe my I got a little bumped into right there. On
Okay.
that side. Okay, we're
Okay,
good.
so all that's remaining, you said, is what in the bedrooms?
In the bedrooms, in the guest bedrooms, we have sliding closet doors that don't have any guide on the floor, so the doors swing in and out.
Okay.
Entry doors to the bedrooms missing stops.
Okay.
Toilet not secure on the floor.
And was it
Also.
for all toilets?
Let's see, north bathroom, east bathroom. Yeah, so the both bathrooms on this east end of the house are.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
both
all
have
three,
all
actually.
toilets are sort of not quite secured as well as they
Pretty
should
much.
be.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the only other thing is in the kitchen, and that's the old dishwasher drain line, missing the high loop or the air gap.
Oh, and you want to explain that
Do
real
you
quick?
want me to explain that? We can do
Sure.
that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I always want to know what that's
Do
about.
you want me to? I've done it before.
Okay.
Dishwasher. The only thing I noted here in the kitchen is the dishwasher drain line does not have two of the most common acceptable installation methods acceptable in California. One being, most common, is you see a little air gap on the countertop here. If you do not have an air gap on the countertop, then you need what's called a high loop installation, where you take the drain hose and you mount it higher than where it goes into your garbage disposal. Okay?
So in this case,
So in here, we have the drain hose connected to the garbage disposal, and it's going directly into the drain hose. Whereas you want to mount this drain hose higher than where it goes into the garbage disposal. You're trying to eliminate any food coming back down the garbage, coming out of the garbage disposal into your drain hose and obstructing it.
so it looks like there's a lot of excess there.
There's
So you
slack
would
that can be
just-
done. We just got to move it around over here, without.
And then you'd use like a zip tie with a screw hole thing, and then just put it up
That's
higher.
it. You
Okay.
just want that drain hose higher than where it goes into the disposal.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it.
All right. And so
I
you're
will email everything over via PDF tomorrow to you and Mike.
okay. And
Or
then
Mark, sorry.
and then Robert may give you a call and ask you some
problem.
questions. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.